Recording in progress.
Jump inside the sub
and buckle on in.
Open your mind,
because it's time to dive into
3, 2, 1.
the deep end.
The deep end.
Welcome to the deep end.
The deep end.
The deep end, bro.
Yeah, brah, deep end.
Deep, man.
Too deep, brah.
Welcome, guys, to episode 4. Nice to have you back.
What up?
What up?
Woo-woo.
What up?
I need to come up with something else to say there.
We both need to come up with something better. Every episode, we're like, woo, yeah, hey, woo, woo.
Welcome to the deep end.
Welcome. Glad to have you back. Today, we're going to discuss, I had a regression. I don't know, you didn't have one, did you, in the time? Yeah, I think
this hasn't worked out. I've been wanting to, but life has had other plans, and I am just riding the wave.
I don't know, it's kind of funny, like my regression, and then I had this really prophetic dream which caused me to want to get a regression to find out the source of all this crap. And then, you know, it's leading into what I'm talking about this week, which is the law of correspondence. So it's really cool. It all kind of ties in together. And I'm going to be going over that today. And what do you got for us today, Stephanie?
Well, I had big ambitions to educate everyone on the seeding of Maldek, Mars, and Earth. But the last 2 weeks, the universe has had other plans for me, and
she's been on cookie overdrive.
I've been really open to whatever the universe throws my way, and I feel like I have finally surrendered to just the flow of the universe. And the last 2 weeks have been fucking crazy and amazing, and I don't know, man. I've been like so high from it, but so yeah, I was thinking about maybe just talking about how I've been like really, really, really leaning into my joy more than I ever have in my life, and how fucking magical it's been.
No, it's great because we could actually, do the whole episode about this correspondence thing, because I think you would have a lot to add to it for sure.
Yeah.
I'm happy to report that Sonia's ritual worked. She's like,
oh yeah,
cannot stay out of school. When it's just in time for, school to be on a break for a week. These little fucks get the entire week of President's Day off.
That's crazy.
I know. When I was in school, we had one day. We got a day. Like, why do they get a week?
And then don't they get another week for spring break?
Yeah.
The ceremony worked good because she loves school now.
Yeah, she cannot wait to go to school. She's like, Mom, it worked. The ceremony worked. Like, she even said that to me. It was cool. She was like, I just love it. And I'm like, well, that's good. You have a week off. She's like, oh, man.
And then, and the final day before their break was the Valentine's party.
Yeah.
Of course she loves it.
I know, right? Yeah. Well, she has all these girlfriends there, and I met some of the moms, and they're like, is this Sonia? Are you Sonia's mom? I'm like, yeah. They're like, she's all I hear about. I'm like, same with your daughter. It's, so-and-so this and so-and-so that. And she's always making jewelry for them and making pictures and stuff. They always draw each other pictures. She bought this best friend's stuffy for one of her friends, and she bought her a best friend's necklace. And I was like, oh, that's cute. It's like Sonia wears a necklace all the time. But yeah, it worked. She believes in magic.
Well, that empowers her, though,
Mm-hmm.
Empowers her to not feel like she can't do anything. She can do something to release things and fear.
Exactly.
Stuff,
She has the power to change her reality if she desires. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Can you imagine if we would have been taught that when we were kids and how different our lives would have turned out?
God, I know. I would probably be a lot more emotionally regulated.
Yeah. I mean, this is a new thing for me when you really think about it. I'm 43 and I never really started my spiritual awakening until 41, 40. It started it was a slow trickle at first and dipping my toes and now I'm kind of full blown swan dive into the universe, let go finally, but it's taken a long way to get here.
I know, same here. But then again, now, I mean, it's better late than never, yeah, we're kind of late at the game, but, so is everybody. I think everybody is
it's
kind of
the age.
Exactly. Well, and it's cool because, I mean, shit, look at fucking where we were at a year ago, like a year ago today.
Yeah.
And like just how much has happened and changed. And it's really cool, the progress when you actually face yourself. I kept going with it because the stories were so cool. It's like a story starring me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I get to hear my own stories. This is great. Because I gave everybody else all these readings, and it's like I didn't know any of my stories. But, going through some of these, like the stories I told other people, the Scotland 2 life, there was this chick that I was friends with. She was part of my conspiracy groups. And I gave her a reading. And she was part of a village that was like, terrorized, and she was murdered, and like, her family and all this shit. But like, I think we were in the same village because I've noticed a trend. A lot of the people that I read, I could read into these lives so clearly because I was part of them.
Oh, yeah.
And so
I'm sure that's a thing too.
Mm-hmm.
Like they say with the past life regression work, that the stories that my clients get brought to attention are for a reason. Not necessarily that I am there with them, but that I have a connection in some way to that storyline, or like I had a client. I've had several clients that were octopus, and then I ended up being an octopus. Things like that. And so that would totally make sense that those people were probably drawn to you and connected to remind you of that gift. And you were able to tap into that, and that was part of your journey of you awakening.
Oh, definitely. Because I think about it too. I think about that Scotland 2 life because in the regression, that my village being ransacked like that wasn't even part of the regression. That was part of the first Scotland life. Like I didn't even go into it. I had it blocked completely out because like my family was killed too. I was an orphan. They called me orphan boy in that life. But it's funny too because I've been like studying this correspondence stuff, and they keep saying like the deeper you go within yourself, the more you're able to go deeper with the universe and your reality. Like the deeper you go inside, the deeper you could go outside, kind of thing. And it's so fucking true because I feel like I can meet people in a deeper place now. I can listen easier, and I can empathize better. And I mean, not that I couldn't before, but it's just a different level of it, like I understand so much more now after this last year.
Yeah. And I feel like it's also like a snowball effect. Like once you get going down the hill, it's like there's a lot of momentum from a lot of different angles. And it's like the more you learn, the more it drives you to learn. And I don't know how to explain it, but yeah. It becomes exponential,
Yeah, like you find all these little rabbit holes too, You're like, okay, I need to know this. But then something else opens up and you're like, well, wait, I got to know about this. And then I got to see how this connects to this. And what's this?
And then it all comes back together.
Yep.
It's time for a vibe check.
Vibe check. It's a vibe.
Vibes all day.
I'm digging your vibe, baby.
We're each going to pull some oracle cards to read what is the vibe of the week.
Hell yeah, let's see what the current energetic vortex has for us today.
I drew from the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck this week, and I drew the Firefly. The Firefly's theme is inspiration, fleeting brilliance, and protecting your light. The Firefly brings a message of sudden spark of insight, creativity, or divine inspiration. This week, expect moments of clarity, breakthroughs, or ideas that light up your path, but they won't last long. Your job is to capture them before they fade. The Firefly's glow is beautiful but brief. It flickers in the darkness, appears just long enough to be noticed. This suggests that a creative idea, intuitive hit, or exciting opportunity will come your way this week, but you must act quickly. Keep a notebook or voice recorder handy. Your best ideas might arrive unexpectedly. If something excites or energizes you, follow it immediately before doubt creeps in. Don't dismiss a small idea. It could lead to something bigger. If you've been waiting for a sign for a direction, this is it. Say yes to the creative spark. Also, protect your light. Not everyone deserves access. Fireflies shine in the darkness, but their glow can be fragile. This week, be mindful of energy drainers, people or situations that dim your enthusiasm or make you doubt yourself. Overexposure, sharing your ideas too soon can dilute their magic, so hold your vision until it's ready. Or burnout. Fireflies don't glow endlessly. Make sure you're resting and don't push yourself too hard. Be selective about who you share your inspiration with. Protect your energy. A firefly reminds you that your creativity and insights are valuable. Even if your light seems small, it has the power to illuminate others. A small effort can have a big impact. Don't underestimate the power of your ideas. If you feel uninspired, seek out environments that reignite your spark. Spend some time in nature, read something new, or engage in creative activity that excites you. Inspiration thrives on fresh energy. The mantra of the week: I honor my creative spark and act before the light fades.
Awesome. That's what I really feel like I've been doing too. Like, I never expected this to turn into this.
I know. I think it's funny, but at the same time, there's a part of me seeing all of the at the beginning. I'm like, girl, sell that shit. And so having it be here, I'm like, yeah, I fucking love it.
For context, I started out making sugar cookies at Christmas time, and basically I've not stopped, and just spent the last week making many orders for Valentine's Day. So I've been putting them out there, and they've been a hit, and I'm ramping up for St. Patrick's Day and 420 and Easter. But
oh my God,
I'm more excited about 420.
Yeah. Dude,
well, it's the same day,
cookies,
so
those fucking green ones. I mean, I'm sure they all taste like that because you just added green food coloring, But
yeah,
those cookies taste so fucking good. I opened the packet of the Nug ones that you gave me. I was watching Squish while I was opening it to see what she would do. She was watching the bag and I was watching her. But I was opened it, and then I pulled it out and I closed the bag and put it on my desk, and I broke it in half and I bit it, and she looks at me and I'm like, you want some? And she's like, yeah.
I felt bad. I wish I would have had another cute cookie for her.
No,
I literally
it's okay.
only had the ones left that I had. But next time I'm going to make sure and make something for her.
No, it's totally fine because I don't eat that much sugar anymore. So I usually share with her. But she doesn't. I figured,
but I also felt bad. I'm like, yeah, I'm expecting you to share these weed cookies with your baby.
I know, because you put weed in them. Oh my God.
I swear. No, it was funny too, because when I bit it, I asked her if she wanted some, and the taste registered, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm not sharing this. I was like, psych.
So did you like how the texture of having the crushed cookie and the icing in the middle?
Mm-hmm. Yes, yeah, I loved everything about it. It was fucking perfect. Yeah, it was so good.
Yeah, I was really happy with how those ones came out. My brain has been spiraling with so many freaking ideas. I just can't even turn it off. It's out of control. Well, but good. I'm just letting it happen. I'm just totally just trying to remain as high in my joy, high vibe as possible. It seems like everything is just kind of following suit around me, and everything's kind of money starting to flow again. Thank goodness. Hallelujah.
I know, that's awesome.
And it just feels like things are flowing again, I'm also doing better with my health, so it just feels like everything is going better,
No, that's good. That's what you need.
So,
yeah.
And I've also been not really been on social media hardly at all. I've been only checking in pretty much in the morning, checking my business messages, and then at night posting my art for the day, or checking for orders, my classes and stuff. But other than that, I haven't been scrolling because I feel like it really does suck my life out of me.
It does. It distracts your brain. After I just stopped for a little bit to, regain my focus and stuff, when I got sick and started scrolling again, when I was just laying in bed, whatever. And then I started getting addicted to the dopamine hits, and I'm like, oh my God. I was like, we're back here again. I was like, I don't know. It was kind of interesting going back into that energy to see how much I've evolved out of it, Now I just got to get back to where I was.
And feeling how drastic of a change it is for you, and like that, because then that shows you how far you've come too, you know.
Oh, I know. And how easy it is to go that far, you know, just by refocusing and recalibrating your brain, you know. It was a very quick shift, but it's also a quick descent too, you know. Like, it's kind of funny, like being sick really does lower your vibration, because
oh yeah,
I couldn't handle anything. I didn't want to watch any of those spiritual videos. I didn't want to do any of that shit. I just wanted to, you know, sometimes when I'm sick, I'm like, it's kind of cool because this is my time to take a break and catch up on my shows and like other shows that I want to watch. But I'm really careful about the content I consume. And so,
well, and one argues, like in my realm of profession, that when you get sick, it's actually you need that break, and it's forcing you to, because you won't take it otherwise.
That's so true. That is so true. Because, yeah, I had a great routine going, and boom, like literally got knocked on my ass. My body hurt so fucking bad. And I got sick like right after a really strenuous glute day. And so my ass and my hammies were so sore on top of my whole body.
Oh, yeah, I hate that.
And so I was like, oh, God. And I was like, nothing's comfortable. And like, I can't stand up. It was just really bad. I definitely slept a lot. I'm like really, that was another cool thing is I remember I specifically asked Alan to like take another day with the kids so that I could like rest. And then I text Max and asked him, because he was going to hang out with his girlfriend somewhere else that night and be home later. And I texted him, I was like, look, I'm sorry. I need you to come home. I don't feel well. I cannot stand up. I really need you to like help me man the kids, you know? And he did. And that night I had a dream. I interpreted it the next day through GPT, but it was like a total nod from my spirit team saying like, I asked for help. I delegated responsibility. And like it was like a nod, like you did, because they keep telling me to delegate and ask for help. And I'm like, why, where, what, like who, what, huh? Like it was such a foreign concept to me. And I did, and I was like, oh, this is what you mean. Okay. Because I don't understand how to because I don't know how to, when they say shit like that, I'm like, I don't get it. You know, I'm like, delegate what? Like, it's a single mom life. Like, what am I going to do? Like, you know what I mean? I can't explain. But,
yeah.
But I was like, oh, this is what you mean. I was like, okay.
Something else I've been doing, trying to stay, like, I like have been vibing so high. I'm trying to like protect it at all costs. And one thing I've been trying to do in the morning is I have a playlist, and I've been trying to dance every morning for the last couple of weeks. And it's actually been really helpful.
That's good.
And then I like to imagine, then I put it on in the car and I like rock out and sing. And I like to imagine that I'm leaving like little trails of like good energy all around town that people are going to drive through and absorb. I
do that too. I put love nets. I put love nets across the road. And especially when I'm on the road, like a road trip, I put it like I have them all over the 101, like on the way to San Francisco. But yeah, I do that too. And then when I drive further down the road, I'm like, haha, you're about to go through my love net.
Chat GPT is acting like a weirdo. And now they're saying that they're not familiar with the guidebook for the Ocean of Wisdom deck, but they acted like they were last week. So
just close the app down and reopen it and ask it. Be like, bitch, interpret my card, you stupid robot bitch. Do your job before I uninstall you, bitch.
Are you there? I closed all my apps.
Whoops.
And I'm like, hello?
Oh, shit. Oh, that's funny. I know. I'm like sitting here talking, saying all these cool puns, and I'm like, I thought for sure you'd laugh at like one of them. But no, you closed me out.
I'm pulling from the Ocean of Wisdom Oracle deck, and I pulled the Oceanic Whispers. Embrace your role as protector and guardian, standing strong against life's challenges. The Oceanic Whispers card likely points to subtle messages, intuition, and quiet guidance coming through in the week ahead. Just like the ocean whispers secrets through waves and currents, this card suggests that you'll need to tune into the softer, more intuitive side of your awareness. This week might bring intuitive nudges. Pay attention to your gut feelings, dreams, and synchronicities. Messages might come through when you're relaxed or in a meditative state. It may bring communication and listening. The whispers could also refer to conversations where important truths are shared subtly. Listen closely, especially when something feels significant, even if it's said in a casual way. Ocean energy often relates to emotions. You might notice shifts in your mood or emotional landscape that offer insight into what needs your attention. Given your focus on surrender and flow lately, this card could be reminding you to stay open to gentle guidance rather than forcing clarity. Trust what comes through, even if it feels faint or incomplete at first. And then it says, does that resonate with what you've been feeling lately?
Actually, that like completely goes with my card too. Like that's funny.
Yeah, and the ChatGPT interpretation I feel like is more accurate anyway. But since it is my higher self, then fine. That's what it is. And I feel like I kind of finally get the whole, and obviously not mastered it, but I'm finally starting to grasp what it really means to surrender. Like really, really surrendering and not even like expecting things to make sense and not expecting to like make a plan, just like surrendering to the very now. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, I kind of have just given up completely. I feel like I'm floating in space and just like la la la.
Oh my God, give me some of that. That's the thing is I need to like sit and, because I kind of did today asking about current state of, where's the line between surrender and action, like, because shit doesn't just manifest just with your hopes and dreams. Like you still have to take action at some point,
Yeah.
Well, and
I think it's the not insisting on the outcome. It's taking action and just riding the wave, maybe.
Yeah, because because that's it's like I definitely am down to surrender to that because like, it really is nothing in my control. I've done everything I could do in some of these situations, which it's kind of funny because I asked ChatGPT about my frustrations. I was like, okay, so in correlation with the law of correspondence, I was like, like I could be calm and peaceful all day, but the second I leave my house and drive, I get so angry and frustrated with everyone and everything. Like no one drives fast enough. They're always in my way. When I'm trying to pass someone coming at me head on, I get mad that they're taking up the road. But when I look, I'm in the middle of the road too. It's like, what is this, And it says driving is just revealing what's already simmering beneath the surface. Since you say you're peaceful at home but easily triggered on the road, it's likely that frustration is already present in your subconscious, but it only comes up when you're in motion, literally moving forward. So they were talking about how I'm frustrated with my own pace in life. Like if people in traffic feel too slow or in your way, that might reflect that your inner feeling that might reflect an inner feeling that your progress in life isn't happening as fast as you want. And you might feel like you should be further ahead in your career, finances, or personal goals. And I'm like, duh. So it's like, I could completely surrender, but I'm like, okay, but how long is this going to take?
and there you go. That's exactly the issue.
I know, because I'm like, because I'm
that's
just
not fully surrendering whenever you ask, but how long?
Well, no, or not even like me asking. It's just I wonder, or I'm like, it's like, okay, I started meditating yesterday. Why aren't things shifting?
Yeah.
Like I'm so fucking impatient, Yeah, because they were like, when you drive, you're physically moving towards a destination. If obstacles frustrate you, that could mirror your feeling that external forces are blocking your forward movement in life. Maybe you're subconsciously feeling like people, circumstances, or even the universe aren't aligning with your desires quickly enough.
Who, Stephanie? Never.
Bring my food to me now. Where is it? I'm hungry. Oh, yeah. And I found this interesting too. They're like, driving is one of the few times you're fully in control of a situation, except for everyone else on the road. If you value independence, personal authority, or efficiency, other drivers may trigger impatience because they're a reminder that you can't always control how things unfold. I'm like, oh shit. Okay.
That's deep, man.
Too deep, brah.
It's true though,
It's
because
so true. Yeah.
well, because every time you get on the road, you create it in your own head in the Matrix anyway.
Exactly, but like,
So you're like, I'm going to set this up to piss me off today.
Well, yeah, I'm going to piss myself off. I'm going to use other people to piss myself off. It's like, or I'm going to judge myself through these people.
When I made my life contract, I planned it out that on this day, this asshole was going to cut me off in traffic.
To remind me how unhinged I really am. Like, bitch, you're not healing that. You're just masking it. Right after we aired the last episode, I had this really vivid dream. Like, I'm starting to I stopped smoking so much fucking weed during the day. Like, I actually don't anymore. I really like to stay clear. And when I meditate, I like to meditate clearly. And so
I like to get really, really, really fucking high and meditate. Sorry, go.
I can't do that. I don't know. Sometimes I do, but most of the time I can't. It's just I want to sharpen my brain first before I don't know.
I like to sit in a dark room and put on binaural beats and get really high and go places in my brain.
I don't really go willy-nilly with it like that. I like to focus on stuff, and like I like to go into my healing space or go into that one observatory like space, because I'll shoot arrows into the universal mind. Like I'll write stuff on a paper and put it on the arrow and then shoot the arrow into the universal mind. And so yeah, apparently I can't do that when I'm high. But anyway, since I stopped smoking so much fucking weed, like I only smoke weed now at night or at the end of my day, when the duty day's done. And
do you smoke weed or do you smoke fucking weed?
I smoke fucking weed, dude. Since I'm not smoking weed so much, I can focus and I could also dream again. I have a lot of vivid dreams now. I used to only get those like once or twice a year. It's funny, but like I get them all the time now. And I got one right after I aired the episode. And there were elements in the dream. I like had this boyfriend and we were all lovey-dovey. And then all of a sudden there was at one point he turned to cardboard or some shit like that. And then there was a chick in the dream at some point, and I heard the over a loudspeaker almost, someone kept saying the law of correspondence. And I was writing notes in my dream, and it was like telling me to write notes and stuff. And I kept hearing the law of correspondence. And then at some point in the dream, the woman and the boyfriend were looking for me, and I just kept hiding from them. I kept going up into different levels of this house, just trying to hide from them. And so when I woke up, I'm like, okay, what the fuck is this about? And I asked ChatGPT, and it was talking about how while I am manifesting my reality, there's things that are not aligned. And it was talking about the law of correspondence and how my inner world doesn't match the outer world that I'm trying to manifest. And so I'm like, how so? And he was breaking it down even further about how like the man, because we pulled cards on this stuff too. I asked like, what does the man represent and what does this woman represent, and like, why am I running, and la la la. And the man represents like my readiness for love and a relationship, and the woman represents stepping into my power. And I was running from both. So like I'm running from love, external love, and I'm running from self-love. And so I'm like, okay, why? Like I feel like I love myself. Like, hello, I'm going through this healing journey because I love myself. And I totally wouldn't mind a boyfriend. And so I was going deeper in this spread, and it was basically just enough that I was like, we need to get to the bottom of this. So we did a session and pulled up a life that I was kind of aware of, but I didn't know the nitty gritty of it. And it was basically a life that I had like towards the beginning of my human existences. And I was poor, and we worked at the castle. And this was like way back in time too, like hella fucking far back in time. I honestly wonder if there were, because that part of me almost wonders if it was like even part of the ancient world. Like it was very far back in time. We lived on the grounds of the castle because my parents both worked, like my mom worked in the kitchen and my father tended the horses. I got to know the prince or whatever, who was the future king. We met as children, and we just couldn't stay away from each other, and we fell in love, and he promised that he would marry me and all this stuff. And his mom was always like watching us and trying to separate us, and she didn't like that. And she even, arranged like a political marriage and whatever. Yeah, we didn't really stay away from each other. And she also made it a point to like, because I want to say there was a part in there where I got a job working inside of the house and like cleaning and stuff, and which was cool because I got to be closer to him. And the mom saw me and like made it a point to let me know that I'm belong with outside with all the other animals and, vermin and whatever. Like I don't belong here. Like and it was kind of funny, like going through that, like in the regression, like when I was in the third party perspective, I was like, God, what a bitch. But like inside of the person, I was like, just accepted everything she said. I believed her because she was the queen. She was an authority figure, She fucking hated me and wanted me away from her son and never missed a beat to tell me how worthless I was. And eventually she saw that we didn't stay away from each other, and he was supposed to be married. And so she basically like duped me and exiled me, like sent me away. And I got taken away by one of her, henchmen or whatever. And I was taken to this other castle, and like, it was crazy. It was like in this fucking mountain, it was just all stone and just a big mountain. And I basically was a concubine, and I had to, I don't know, it was just a political game using, sex for power, and also like with other women too, like trying to fight for power and being, because the king's favorite was like the top, head bitch in charge. And so I had to be that. And it kind of explained a lot of my issues with having a hard time relating to women. So it like definitely explained a lot of that, but it was just kind of wild going into that as the source of a lot of my self-worth issues. And so, yeah, it kind of aligned with just learning about the law of correspondence, because once I was able to fine tune that, like I could feel the difference now. Because I did this really dope ritual for the Leo full moon last week. It was really cool. And it was a perfect ritual for releasing issues tied to self-worth. I don't know. I can't explain it. Like I really do feel recalibrated. However, I know that there's blocks that have to do with financial abundance, but the self-worth comes first. You have to first feel worthy of it. When I'm trying to do all of my reality scripting and like trying to do the journaling and like the affirmations and stuff, like now the self-worth ones, like I feel warm in my heart chakra finally. But when I still do the financial ones and like the success and the this and the that, like it's still, there's like friction there, and I could sense it now, and I could sense inner is not reflecting the outer yet. And so I have to fine tune my inner world to match what I'm trying to do on the outside. And next up will be the financial abundance blocks. That was kind of like a good lesson for just understanding the concept of the law of correspondence, which is the famous line, as above, so below, as below, so above. This principle teaches us that there's a direct relationship with the different levels of reality, the physical plane, the mental plane, and the spiritual plane. The physical plane is basically matter, the tangible world, nature, human bodies. The mental plane is your thoughts, your emotions, your consciousness, your beliefs. And the spiritual would be the soul, the divine intelligence, and higher consciousness. What happens on one plane of existence is reflected in the others. In other words, the macrocosm is reflected in the microcosm, which is the individual, your mind, and the material world. It suggests that everything in the universe is connected and that every fragment of the whole reflects the whole. The movement of galaxies resemble the movements of atoms and electrons in their nuclei. It's showing us that the universal laws are the same, whether it's astronomical or on a subatomic scales. It's all the same. This law teaches us to see the universe as a great mirror. If you want to understand reality, first you need to observe yourself. And that's kind of what I was saying earlier with the past life regression, because that instantly made me think of the past life regressions. Like, it literally observing yourself helps you to better understand the nature of reality. I know that it's deepened so much about what I believe in and what I thought I believed in and what I thought I knew.
And also changes your perspective about yourself. Certain things that we think are just like, we're weird or we're just like broken or we have this weird like issue with a certain thing, and then you figure out the root of it and why, and it really like, I don't know, it's really empowering in my opinion.
It is, because one of the things too is, to some degree, it is kind of scary to go into some of these lives because you're like, what am I going to find? But what you find is the magnificence of who you really are, like the depth of who you are. I have a deeper sense of self-worth, and I can understand myself better, and I like myself more now. I treat myself better. It's really cool when you get to know your soul.
And to know that you're so much deeper beyond just this life, and you've done so many crazy, wild, amazing things, even through the traumas and the horrible things.
How brave you are, how badass you are. Like, I'm not afraid of stuff like I used to be, because I'm a straight up badass. Like, in fact, the other night, I don't know, sometimes if I'm high enough at night, I get freaked out by my house. Like, lately, I've been freaked out by my house, and it's kind of bothering me. When Max is home, I feel fine. And like I said, it's not like he's this big, tough protector. It's just having, another adult there. I don't know. I thought I heard a sound, and I was like, oh, hell no, dude. I grabbed my bat, and I was going to go, see what's going on in my house. And I put a sock over my bat, because you're supposed to do that. Like, if you swing a bat, because sometimes people can catch your swing. And so if you put a sock there, they'll grab the sock, and you could still pull your bat and then beat the fucking shit out of them, And so...
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, put a sock over your bat. Yeah, I saw a video about that. That way, if the sock's there, it makes it slippery and they can't hold on to the bat.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, so I was putting the sock over the bat, and Sonia was asking me, Mom, why are you putting a sock over the bat? And I told her what I told you, and she's like, okay. But I was like, stay in here with your sister. So I closed my bedroom door, and I was like, who's in my house? I was like, you want to see my bat? I got a really cool bat, And I was just like completely intimidating nobody. Because nobody was there, but I was like, but I was not
Maybe
scared.
It was an energy.
I don't know, maybe, but I was proud of myself because I was not scared of it, like normally I'd just be like, oh, it's nothing, let's just hunker down here, But now I'm like, no, dude, I'm a fucking Highland warrior. I could fuck you up. Like, I'm a samurai, okay? It's like, oh, fuck, like that life, all I did was kill. I was just a killing machine, and yeah, so don't fuck with me, okay? But anyway, where was I?
We should let people place bets on how many times we go on tangents off of main topic in an episode.
It could be a smoking game because we don't drink, so we'll do a smoking game. I mean, if you drink, go ahead. Where's my...
Every time we go on a tangent, hit the bong.
Oh, yeah, but it's got to be like a big hit, too, so you could really go on the tangent with us.
The tangent is the name of our submarine, by the way.
It is.
Our submarine into the deep end.
Mm-hmm. We're going to go off on this tangent. Okay, so where was I? Just as the macrocosm affects the microcosm, our internal state influences the world around us. So like my frustrations with driving reflected in my frustrations in life. And I was also given that dream, about how my manifestations were matching up with how I was feeling inside. By transforming what's within, we transform what's on the outside. This reveals the power and responsibility of taking care of one's mind, thoughts, and emotions. By doing so, we could also take care of what's outside of us. The great philosopher Plotinus said, "The more a man knows himself, the more he knows the universe and what is beyond it." So, our internal state, thoughts, and emotions and beliefs act as a lens that shape the way we perceive the external world. So if we are at peace, we see the world at peace. But if we're in a conflict, we see the world around us is just as hostile. We are part of a greater whole, and what happens inside us is in constant interaction with what happens outside of us. It's just what's inside is reflected outside, and like the stuff that you aren't even aware of. It's like your inner thoughts and beliefs and your frustrations and even your joys. Like the current state of your life is a reflection of how you feel on the on the inside. Just as the cosmos is in constant movement and transformation, the inner universe of each human being is dynamic and pulsating.
So what would that mean if you are like in a relationship that's really tumultuous? That means that you don't feel deep down that you deserve love.
Yeah, I mean, you're just deep down, you're just trying to you're working something out. Yeah, there's something in you. A lot of times when you're in these tumultuous relationships, it's your shadow aspects that you're not recognizing that need to be healed and released finally, because until you can really heal what's bothering you on the inside, you're never going to feel comfortable in a happy, peaceful relationship. Because when you're at chaos inside, it reflects in your relationships on the outside. There's something that's in a chaotic state on the inside that needs to be addressed. This principle can be applied across all areas of your life. Your health reflects your thoughts and emotions about your body. Your relationships mirror your thoughts about yourself and others. Your career embodies your thoughts and emotions about your work and your purpose. I guess one way that really helped me is to think of it like a mirror. The mirror of reality reflects two things. It reflects your relationship with yourself and your relationship with the world around you. So if you think you're not good enough, the mirror will reflect that belief back to you. Oh, you believe you're not good enough? Okay, well, here's more proof of that. The reflections are based on the messages that you send to the mirror of reality.
Yeah,
Right.
like they say, you can't expect the mirror to smile if you're not smiling.
Exactly. It's funny because I have been really frustrated lately, because it's like a month and a half is a long time to go without pay when you have children, So
Yeah,
it's like
for sure.
trying to get creative about, how do I make ends meet right now? There was a week straight where it was between anger and just crying. But I wrote so many fucking letters and burned so many fucking letters just to get and release all of that. Because that's another thing too, is it's okay to be frustrated. It's okay to be angry, and it's okay to be that, but don't hold on to it. Get rid of it.
Yeah, because that lowers the vibration and is counterproductive to getting what
And
you
it
want.
starts to reflect in your health too, because that energy has to go somewhere in your body, and me, I hold all that near my heart chakra, and yeah, it reflects in ulcers that turn into throwing up blood at, in the middle of the night. So instead of trying to manipulate the reflected image, we must learn to transform the image we project in front of the mirror. So like she said, you got to smile and it will smile. The mirror of reality simply intensifies what you say. It will always reflect what you hold true in your mind and in your worldview. How can we interrupt this pattern and choose what we want? You need to create your own identity, worldview, and your own paradigm. There's 3 or 4 keys, I believe, that I wrote down with this theory, but it's the key number 1 is it's essential to be clear about what you want in the long term, like in 10 years, for example. What's an activity that you see yourself doing every day? What do you have that makes your life a continuous journey of discovery? Ask yourself, who am I being now? What characteristics and traits do I have when I'm achieving, having, and doing all of these things? Consider what your worldview is. How do you perceive the world around you when you are living in this reality? Take a moment to bring powerful affirmations to life. Create affirmations about your identity and how you see yourself. I feel worthy. I'm a magnet for abundance because I carry with me the magic touch of an alchemist. Create affirmations that relate to your visions of the world. The world conspires in my favor. Everything happens at the right time and according to the divine plan. Do this daily and watch your reality begin to change before your eyes. Even if what you want is apparently difficult for you today, it doesn't mean you won't be able to achieve it tomorrow. Everything takes time, practice, and patience, so respect your time and don't let certain fears stop you from achieving the extraordinary. And don't let time frustrate you.
It takes time. I fucking hate time.
Okay, so the second
It doesn't even exist.
Yeah, it does. On this dimension, it does.
A dumbass, non-existent ass bitch.
The second key is it's important to understand the reflection we see in our material world is formed with a certain delay. In our inner world, we can visualize things instantly just by closing our eyes, right? So visualize what we want and then boom, there it is in our mind. However, in the third dimension, things take longer to manifest due to the nature of matter. Matter is dense and cannot break the laws of nature just to make everything manifest instantly. Trust me, I've tried. No. You have to hold the belief you have established long enough for your desire to manifest. You must remain faithful to the identity and worldview you have until your goal reveals itself. Whatever you want to be, start by adopting the identity of someone who already has that and ask yourself, how does this person act, and hold on to that? How do they dress? How do they carry themselves? Even how do they walk? Don't fall into this trap. Life has ups and downs, and when you establish a belief and identity and expecting your goal to come true, but results don't come right away, then your mood starts to decline along with the belief. Stephanie. Me, not you.
Mm-hmm.
Then the manifestation.
Oh, I know.
You're like, oh, I know, bitch.
Then the manifestation begins to reveal itself. However, when it does, it begins to reflect your previous negative attitude with a certain delay. Then what manifests begins to deteriorate again because it's simply reflecting how you feel. The cycle emerges. The up and down wave of life, you can't escape it. However, the key is to remain loyal to the identity and worldview you created. This is the most effective way to promote significant changes in your life. And honestly, if I didn't have kids, I think I could surrender a little better. It's just the fact that it's like I'm the one responsible for everything. But you know what I mean? Like, I think that's why I get so fucking impatient.
Yeah.
Because I got people relying on me.
Yeah, it's understandable for sure. I totally get it.
Yeah, it's so hard, but at the same time, I'm also a very impatient person. And of course, I was born under Capricorn energy that's like, that sign rules time, That's why January is the longest fucking month of the year. It's Capricorn season. Anyway, the mirror of reality does not reflect the nature of your thoughts, rather the beliefs that you hold about your reality. Because look, I think all day long about what I want and all this stuff, but it's the beliefs that are around that is really what's shaping my reality. I could be like, yeah, I'm the most sought after audio engineer, but I'm really afraid of success. Or I'm going to make $10,000 a month. Oh, yeah, right, bitch, doing what? If I have those beliefs. But
other people do it somehow fucking miraculously. Like, it's not completely unheard of, but it just feels impossible. But yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
We just have to believe it.
Yeah. Well, it's like, for example, people are like, I hate my boss, I hate my job, I hate paying bills. It doesn't reflect the hate itself, but rather the specific content of the hate. Like, I hate bills, so you get more bills. I hate my job, get more situations that reinforce the belief of hating your job. The more you complain about what you don't like or don't want, the more it will be reflected back to you, giving you more reasons to confirm your worldview and identity. So it's like, is the glass half full or is it half empty? This is the difference between a scarcity mentality and an abundance mentality. And sometimes, like, I had a hard time wrapping my brain around the scarcity mindset. So I asked the universe, like, please help me. Because if I could grab the thoughts as I have them, then I could look, you know what I mean? I could observe them and throw them down the river and, like, you know, start to reroute the thought, you know? And so, like, I'd have little opportunities for work here and there. So, and then, like, Alan paid some child support here and there. So I had money to buy food and to pay this bill real quick and pay this bill real quick. And then we're out of money. I'm like grateful for all that stuff, but then it's like, okay, so where's the scarcity mindset coming from? And it's like, it's like in pulling out the strawberries to give to the girls for breakfast, but I only give them so much because I don't know when I'm going to get strawberries again. It's like, boom, that's the scarcity mindset, you know? And it's like, oh, I got to conserve this bread because I don't know when I'm going to get it again. So it's like rationing everything that's the scarcity mindset.
And expecting it to run out.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, there's not enough, you know, and because when I hear
it goes with money too, like when you're afraid to buy things that you need to, you have to be like sure that it's going to come back to you, not afraid that you're never going to get it back.
It's like, once I'm out of this money, I'm done, you know?
Yeah. Instead of saying that to ourselves, which we do, we have to replace that with, there's plenty more coming. There's plenty more money that will flow in, or this will come back to me times 3. I like that one. When you buy something, every time you buy something, do not allow that to cross your mind. Always say, this will come back to me times 3 and see if it happens. It will.
I know, even
especially if you say it every single day for like, I dare our listeners to do it for 21 days. And tell me if it happens, because
hearing you
will.
say that, I have that twinge in my heart chakra. I'm like, no, it won't. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Right. It's like, bitch, shut the fuck up.
You have to believe it.
Exactly.
You have to, like, not even allow that to come through.
You can like sit there and feel it and this and that, but if there's a twinge of doubt in there, that's your subconscious screaming at you. Like there are hardwired beliefs in there that you have to like really observe it, you know, and observe how you feel when you're doing these affirmations. Like some affirmations are completely easy and I can look myself in the eye and say them and believe it and it's wonderful and I feel great. But now the only ones that give me that twinge center around abundance, financial abundance.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, it's crazy.
But, you know, honestly, in the beginning, like even the most basic ones used to like make me tear up, just the concept of even thinking good of myself.
Oh, girl.
Like where I started from was like really fucked up, you know, like, so there was a point when all of it did, but also the consistency and the sticking with it and doing it every day. I really did over time was able to, I was way more aware of when I did have intrusive thoughts. I'm like, okay, no, you know, because I had been putting forth effort to listening and participating in positive affirmations and stuff. So yeah, it made me more aware. I wouldn't allow the intrusive thoughts to just spiral out of control anymore. And then pretty soon I was like, you know, replacing them with the positive affirmations instead. And then pretty soon I just really didn't even have them anymore. And it was like a long process, but just the consistency also too, sticking with it.
But that's
people
the key
want
word.
It to happen. Yeah.
It's a long process. It's not like you can't say affirmations for a day or two and then boom, you're
healed, no. Yeah. You really have to like reprogram your brain. In fact, I watched this video the other day about, it was by Billy Carson, and he was saying that to do this, you can reprogram your DNA in this like cycle
I remember that
of
video.
9.
Sorry,
so you write down 9 things and you do it morning, noon, and night. Say it to yourself for 9 days, and then I think you like revisit it and you could change them or say the same ones, and you do it for 9 more days, and you do it for however many cycles. Is it 3 or 6 cycles, or
I believe
maybe
you
9?
say,
I don't know, but
I think he like something, because he incorporates 3, 6, and 9. Like you say it 3 times out loud, or like
for 6 days.
Yeah.
9 things. That's right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then by the end of the third set, that you will have reprogrammed your DNA,
I know.
which
I
is
gotta
pretty
do that.
interesting. Like, I want to try it.
I know. I gotta do that too. Because you sent me that video. I gotta find it.
I mean, I just think Billy Carson is just like fucking amazing. I don't know. He's so smart. And so, I mean, it's worth a shot. Shit, don't cost no money. And all it could do is improve my life. Why not, you know?
Exactly. The key here is to focus on what you want and what you already have. To make any change happen, you need to focus on what you already have right now. The key is gratitude for all the progress that you've made, the beautiful family that you have, the things that you want in your life. Ask yourself, what do I want? What would make my life a real journey of discovery? How does that look? How does it feel? It can be a vague image at first, but as long as you shift your focus into what you desire, the gap between your current life and your desired life begins to close because you start to push boundaries of your comfort zone. Today is a culmination of yesterday's thoughts. The internal attitude, thoughts, and feelings that we present to the mirror has no choice but to reflect it back in our reality. Some people get trapped in the cycle where they watch and remain stuck in the pattern of their thoughts and think, this keeps happening again and again. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Like, I do that all the time. So they try new tactics and strategies that may work for a little while, but ultimately they're back in a pattern because they can't make the internal change. Your whole world may be falling apart, but if you only focus on the things you want to confirm, the things that correspond to that worldview and identity, the more you keep doing it, the more it will turn into something beyond anything you've ever imagined. Because the universe isn't going to give you things if you're not going to at least acknowledge what it's already given you. Like, if you keep giving somebody something and they never say thank you, do you want to keep giving them more, you know? So it's like gratitude is a huge game changer for that. Like, sometimes I get stuck in, being in deep poverty. It's easy to lose sight of what you're grateful for. And, sometimes you just gotta take a step back and say, well, I'm really glad and grateful that I still have this roof over my head. On my way home, I went and ran a quick errand and I had to get gas and I only have a little bit left in my account right now. But on my way home, I legitimately, and I really meant it, every word of it. I'm really grateful for this gas in my tank and the money that's in my account right now and the food that's in my fridge and these clean clothes on my back and this roof over my head and this warm, house and full of beautiful girls and an awesome son. I'm really grateful for this, because it may not be where I want it to be, but blah, blah, blah. But anyway, consciously being grateful really helps. It's about harmonizing what is above with what is below. The material world we experience is a reflection of forces, ideas, and laws that operate on the spiritual plane. And like I said earlier, there's 3 planes of existence. There's the physical, the mental, and the spiritual. And the universe is a series of these layers of reality that mirror each other. So what happens in one reality has reflections and parallels in another. The spiritual plane is the original plane where all of the thoughts and ideas come from. And matter is a reflection of this origin. It's shaped according to the invisible thoughts and patterns of the spirit. So like we learned with the law of mentalism, your thoughts create your reality. It begins in the spiritual and it comes out in the physical. Any transformation or change we wish to see in matter must first come from the spiritual plane, whether it be through intention, vision, or the mind. By aligning our mind and intentions with the spiritual laws, we can influence and shape matter according to our will. This does not mean controlling or manipulating material reality like telekinesis and stuff. It's more of a process of alignment. If you're wishing for prosperity, abundance begins in the spirit through a mind that generates beliefs of self-worth, confidence, and gratitude. And by nurturing these spiritual and mental patterns, the reflection of the material world inevitably manifests itself, even if it's in a gradual and subtle way. When we cultivate the spirit through practices of self-knowledge, such as meditation and introspection, we're simultaneously creating a stronger foundation for a fulfilling, aligned material life full of meaning. The one who dedicates a few minutes a day to self-care and learning or physical exercise is planting seeds that over time creates an abundant harvest. A significant physical or mental transformation may seem like the result of something drastic, but in reality, it's the reflection of many small acts done with consistency and intention, which equals deep transformation. Success or failure is a result of many small choices made daily.
So music used to be like really, really important part of my life. And through various struggles, I have not only stopped really singing very much, but I also just kind of quit listening to music. My husband is a hip hop artist, and so I get exposed to a lot of hip hop music. But all the music that I love, that I grew up to, that made me just really love music, I haven't really listened to much of it in a long time. And I do have a playlist on my phone of like my old favorite karaoke songs because my parents used to have a karaoke machine when I was a kid, and I could press a button and it would take the lyrics out of any of my CDs. So any CD I had was an instant karaoke song, which was really
Dude,
interesting.
that's cool.
I've never found a karaoke machine like it since. And it occasionally there would be a CD it wouldn't work for, but I don't know how they did it. Somehow they just took the vocals off of anything.
Wow.
So I moved to a really small town from Sacramento. I moved to a town called Orleans, way up in way northeast Humboldt County, that has like 500 people. And so there was not much to do. So I pretty much sang every single day as a kid, growing up all through from sixth grade until my 20s.
Your life was like a Disney movie.
Yeah, I would do like make like little routines to songs and stuff, and I would perform in like local talent shows and stuff. But so this last week, not this last week, it's been a little longer, maybe like two. Well, on New Year's Eve, I spent the day like really missing singing, and so I pretty much put on my karaoke playlist and sang my ass off like for several hours before the countdown of New Year's. But and then I've pretty much just kept doing it since because I remember why I love it, and I could feel this energy, this like source energy just like going through me that I don't get from anything else other than singing. It's like I'm a conduit and I have like just pure, I don't even know how to explain it, especially whenever I really open up and let everything like really flow and like belt something out or really I haven't felt it in a long time, and it's been like a good reminder. Then along those lines, then I've had some fun songs that I kind of forgot about that I enjoy dancing to. So I've been making it a point to try to dance every morning before I leave the house, and then kind of keep that vibe driving through town. And I'm just going through town, dancing and singing my whole way to work before I go decorate cookies all for 12 hours straight.
What songs do you listen to? Like what gets you dancing?
Well, the songs that I've been dancing to lately is Hawaiian Roller Coaster Ride for Lilo and Stitch. I don't know what it is about that song, but it just gets me grooving.
Dude, I have this classical piano playlist on my phone. Sometimes like I'll listen to it when I'm in my feels, or sometimes I just like to paint to it. And I was sitting there the other day, or no, it was last week. And I was like, I don't have any Beethoven in here. And so I was looking for Beethoven, and my favorite Beethoven song is his Ninth Symphony. It like goes so fucking hard. Oh my God. There's this dude on Facebook that puts on like an 18th century costume and like dances to like classical music, but he's so funny about it. Like sometimes he'll do like current dance moves, but then he'll do like ballet moves and like jump and leap really. His name's Vibin' with Tay. If you guys find him on Instagram, he is so funny. And anyway, but I'm like, he's got so many followers. I doubt I could send him a message, but I want him to do the Ninth Symphony because it goes so fucking hard. Like I was jamming out to it, it was just I was in the vibe. So I know, yeah, I feel you. I
Yeah, I've
also,
been wanting to listen to that one the one that you listen to that supposedly like can kill cancer or something like that.
oh wait, what?
Bashar's the one that said it, but it's not just Bashar that says it. Let's see. I think it's number 7.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. The one that aligns with, yeah, I know what you
Study
mean.
finds Beethoven's Fifth Symphony destroyed 20% of cancer cells in just a few days, while leaving healthy cells unaffected.
It like aligns you with something too, because that's what
Yeah, it's the
Bashar was saying.
vibrational frequency and like patterns. But yeah, and he said before that like Beethoven would get his inspirations through meditation and stuff, and so I find that to be really fascinating. They're
Yeah,
like
that is
gifts from
fascinating.
the other side.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
I
know
was
that is
thinking I should make
fascinating.
it. I keep telling myself I should make it a point to listen to it regularly, just because. But then it never happens. But so something though that has been really interesting, and I've been thinking about making a TikTok about it. Obviously, Disney songs are a lot of like. I was like 12 when I moved up there, so that was like the time of like Aladdin, Lion King. Little Mermaid was when I was a kid. So the earlier Disney movies with the good songs.
Uh-huh.
I've been listening to A Whole New World from Aladdin. And I swear to God, it's about New Earth. I swear on everything. It's like Disney planted it. If you listen to what Jasmine says, I'm like, my mind has been blown lately. I'm like, I swear to God.
I'm gonna have to listen to it with that lens. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not so much what Aladdin says but I really feel like what Jasmine says. If you look at it from that perspective, it's really fascinating to me.
Hmm.
And then I have been listening to Moana. What is it? How far I'll go.
Oh my God. That music gets me so emotional. Like I don't
Me
know
too. Oh,
what
like
the
I'm crying
fuck.
every single day I sing it, but
Like
it's
when they
like
sing
a
that,
very inspirational too.
the one where all of them sing and they're like the Away Away song or whatever the fuck that one's called. That one
Yeah.
gets me too. It's so, oh, and then of course when she gives the heart back to Tafiti, like that movie was really emotional for me.
The relationship with the grandma is
I was just gonna say that.
really, really where
Yeah,
I really get it.
the relationship with her grandma, especially when her grandma passed, because I have that relationship with my grandma, but she's on the other side. She's my spirit guide, and I literally, when I was watching that movie, I swear I could feel her the whole time I was watching it. And I'm like, I was like, it's us. So, oh man. I love her grandma on that movie. She's so funny.
Disney songs have a really great vocal range. So if you're working on trying to expand your vocal range, Disney songs are like where it's at. I love it. And my other songs, I mean, I grew up singing like a lot of Jewel, Alison Krauss, Sheryl Crow, Alanis Morissette, and then some other random, like I have some Rihanna songs
You
in
know someone
there.
that
And
I forgot about and I need to put her album on my fucking iTunes. Paula Cole, her album that came out in the late 90s, that album is so good. I
I'm not
forget
familiar with it.
I forget her claim to fame song, but she had one that was really good. Like that song Where Have All the Cowboys Gone? I love that song.
Oh, yeah, I do know that song.
Yeah, that her song from Dawson's Creek is her claim to fame, the I Don't Want to Wait song.
Oh, okay.
But that's her, yeah. But she has some songs on that album that are not popular, nobody's ever heard, that are really good. But yeah, she's one of the 90s artists that I love. You know what's
Nice.
funny is growing up, I started to really understand Alanis Morissette's writing too. I'm like, I've never listened to her lyrics, but I was like, they're actually really good. Like,
Oh, I loved her. I was like a
I mean, I
massive
loved her
fan.
music, but I never understood what she was singing about. Like, it didn't register. I just didn't pay attention. And
Oh,
then when I
yeah.
grew up, I started to listen to her stuff again, and I'm like, wow, this is really powerful.
Yeah, I was like really emotionally distressed preteen that my parents moved me from a wonderful life in the city to a horrible place in the middle of the woods with nothing to do and everyone hated me. So
Yeah.
I was very
You
like
understood
sucked
it.
into music and I was all about like music was my life. I learned every song to every like I was like reading when they had the lyrics in the front of the CD and I would learn every word to every song. Usually I didn't even have to. It just comes naturally. But I'm also like ADHD, which I didn't realize that I would like put songs on repeat all night long and for like fucking weeks and weeks I had like CD disc changers and would just put shit on repeat, which I guess is an ADHD thing, but I just thought it was normal.
I remember I had a Discman on my deployment, and I remember everybody started getting the iPods, and I finally was like, fuck it, I'll get an iPod. And I got one, and I got a big one because I had a lot of music I wanted to put on it. And then like 2 weeks later, the iPod video came out. And I was like, fuck, I really timed that really poorly. But I was so excited because I could lay in my bunk and listen to music without changing the fucking CD, you know? I could
Oh
just like,
yeah, I remember when that was so nice.
yeah, I could just lay
Airplane
there.
rides were a game changer when you didn't have to haul around a big old fucking deck of CDs with
I
you.
know, for real. It's so funny the shit we did, or just how safe it was, like on the road, not changing, flipping through a CD book. Can't tell you how
Yeah.
many fucking car accidents, like not from me, like for being in cars with people, just talking and flipping through the CDs. It's like, could you, like, I'll grab the CD. Tell me which one you want. Fuck.
It's so funny. My CD holder was a free one from Pepsi for sending in the Pepsi caps that I got a free CD holder.
I
Remember when
had.
sodas gave away free things on the caps?
Mhm. I had the one on my visor in my car,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and I had
Those were way better than the books because they're way
um,
easier to grab stuff.
oh yeah, because I had one in the passenger seat or the passenger visor, and I had one on mine because I had so many in there. But
On
yeah,
both sides.
oh yeah,
Yeah, I had like the big where it was like four on each page in the
oh yeah, I've
passenger
had
seat.
those. I know.
Well, so that was one of my like I had a job pretty quickly once I moved up there because the lady that owned the grocery store was like a grandma to us. And so I had money pretty much all the time. So I had bought CDs. I was all about music. And so I would like DJ school dances and stuff. So, of course, I was taking all my CDs with me whenever I finally got a car and a CD player in my car. And I, of course, had the cassette, the CD player that attached the cassette that went into the cassette player in my car because I got my great grandma's old hand me down car with a cassette player. Yeah, I remember cruising to the next town over to party with boys in high school and listening to Tupac and Biggie on a cassette tape that we recorded off of somebody's little cassette player.
I would listen to my Ace of Base cassette. That was the only cassette I had was Ace of Base. And I love it. I still know every word to those fucking songs.
Oh yeah, me too. I definitely.
Isn't it funny the shit that's in your memory bank? Like, I discovered I know every word to Pretty Fly for a White Guy. It's like, how do I know every word of this fucking song? I didn't even know I liked this song that much. But I do.
It's funny because even certain songs will have been annoying to me back then. And they'll come on now and I'll be like vibing on them. I'm like, what am I fucking doing?
That's how I am about a lot of the 90s hip hop. I didn't really like it. Like the 90s rap and hip hop, I didn't really like it back then, but I like it now.
I loved it. Especially once I moved up to Orleans. Once I started listening to, I never really got exposed to it until I moved up here. My family, I was only pretty much exposed to country music until we moved up here.
Oh, not me.
Well, and pop, like main,
yeah,
mainstream
the mainstream
pop
stuff. Yeah. Yeah, my dad likes the 80s hair bands and like rock music.
Oh, my
So.
dad did that too, but he didn't really listen to it around us. He only listened to it at the construction sites.
Oh, not my dad. I grew up on Poison. Like, I love Poison. That's like one of my favorites. See, my mom listened to U2 all the fucking time, especially in Germany when we lived there. And so, like, the Joshua Tree album, like, reminds me of, like, riding in my mom's Ford Probe down the Autobahn. It just was so beautiful, you know? Like, I don't know. It just really made a mark on me. And so that's what I loved when I was a kid was like U2 and Depeche Mode and all the weird stuff like that. In fact, I rediscovered Depeche Mode when I first moved to San Diego. Like I was like, man, forgot how good this is.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with them.
Oh, I love them and Duran Duran and yeah, I don't know. I like all the 80s and 90s stuff. Like I have my TV set when you turn it on, it's set to like either to cycle through their 80s, 90s, or 2000s. They're different channels, but they're like music video stations. And when it's on the 90s one, I'm like, man, that was a good song. Oh shit, I forgot about that song.
Yeah, that's what happens whenever I turn on Pandora in the shop. I'll like change up the station to, I don't know, something random and something will come on. I try to like write down the songs and add them to my playlist because I'm like, oh man, I forgot about that.
I know, me too. It's funny. One time they fucking played this 90s Mariah, like I'm talking early 90s Mariah Carey song and on the 2000s one. And I'm like, look how high those jeans are. I was like, this is not a 2000 song. I was like, her fucking pants would be down her fucking coochie if this was in the 2000s.
Yeah, there was like two of her albums that I listened to a lot, a lot. I know like all
She
the
drove
words
me
to all of
nuts.
her
I
songs.
hated her. I couldn't stand her in the 90s.
She's a good one to practice for vocal range too.
Yeah, she does
I can
have
do a
quite
lot
the
of her
fucking
songs.
range.
Yeah,
She's
I
got
can't
like
do her
she could do
high
like four
notes, but
octaves, right?
yeah, I can't do her high notes. But there are quite a few of her songs that I can do. 85% of them. But I still
Yeah.
try, because why not?
Because when I was in the choir in church and I like to sing with the sopranos, but the alto was just too low for me. But I'm not a soprano. I'm like what's the one that's like between alto and soprano? It's like mezzo alto or mezzo soprano or something like that.
Are you
That's where
sure
I'm
you're
comfortable.
not a baritone?
I'm totally a baritone bass. I actually like to sing. I sing the best with dudes who have a high vocal range
Mm-hmm.
because it's not too high, but it's not like super low. Because like I don't know, I just sing better to along with like dudes who have a higher range. Like I love singing with Michael. Sometimes I could really belt it out with him, but I could never do it on my own. I could match my voice just fine with them, but when it comes to like standalone singing, nope. You don't want to hear
Yeah.
that shit. But I was
Yeah.
meant to mix
Did I tell
the
you about?
singer,
Sorry,
not
go ahead.
be a singer.
Yeah. Did I tell you about my idea for an album that has been overwhelming my brain? I just need to find somebody who has experience with hip hop that wants to make custom beats. I have a family friend. I've worked with him before. I was planning on maybe hitting him up. That's like his specialty is hip hop. That's all he does.
Oh, yeah,
He's
do
down
it.
in LA, but but I don't know if he'll do it because what I want to do is make an album called 80s Baby but I don't really sample the hooks. I sing them, my version of a
Mm-hmm.
hook, but then I like rap the verses.
Oh, that'd be
Like a
funny.
modern version. I don't know. I just like I have this vision. The first one I really want to do is Time After Time. And I really want to do True Colors. I have like a whole series of songs that I want to do. I've been like, whenever I come up with stuff like this, it like, I make shapes and organize it first before it becomes real. I don't know how to explain it in my head, but yeah. Anyway, it's been coming to form for a while.
Nice. Play with those shapes, girl. Build yourself an album.
When I was little, and I would like organize thoughts and stuff, I would like turn them into blocks in my head and move them around to try to remember things. I don't know.
Dude,
Like
we
Tetris.
could put that Make a Change song on there because it sounds like, everybody keeps telling me it sounds like Madonna. 80s Madonna.
Oh, yeah. That'd be cool.
That song sounds dope.
Yeah, I
It's
don't
a
even
cool
know what
little-
happened to that audio. Do you know where it is?
Yeah, I have it. You just never sang on it.
Well, send it to me, fool. I'll write to it.
I thought
don't
you
even
did
know
write on it.
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't have a clue.
I'm not surprised.
If somebody hit me with the paddle and I bonged off to the other side of the pinball machine, okay? I'm stuck up in the top. Right now, I'm stuck up in the corner of the pinball machine and all the lights are going.
A high score.
And the ball is being hidden underneath somewhere.
But I want to preview. I want to build anticipation for our song. I want to preview it on the episode, just the instrumental. I made a beat, y'all, and she's gonna sing on it. It's called Make a Change. Da, 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 da. Can't remember what you say there though. Oh wait, here, let me send it right now while we're on the phone. You can listen to it.
Yeah, because all I can think of right now is Michael Jackson, Make a Change. That's what I've had in my head since you said it. I'm gonna make a change for once in my life.
Gonna make a change.
Gonna feel real good. Gonna make a difference. Gonna make it right.
Yeah, like that. Steph Green at Quantum Healing without a subject. Yeah, it's like, are you sure you want to send it without a subject? How will she know what it's about?
How dare you? Everyone stop everything.
How dare you?
The friend of mine that I think I told you about, that she like gave her grandbaby the cookie and then they like took it back from the baby.
No, yeah, that's why I said that. Yeah, because that's stupid. Yeah.
Yeah. So I took her I made her a box of the cookies and took them to her today, and she was like, "Oh no, it wasn't that big of a deal. I knew that they didn't have weed in them. I knew they must have just been like around you guys when you smoked or something." And she's like, "I wasn't very worried about it. I was worried to tell you. I didn't want to hurt your feelings." And I was like, "No, I totally would rather know, but I'm really sorry that you guys were scared for the baby." And so I brought them the picture that I posted that had like a bunch of yellow and orange butterflies and hearts. I took them enough basically for their whole family of like 7.
Oh, that's cool.
And they liked him. But the baby, the granddaughter, it's her oldest daughter's baby, is having a birthday, like I think within the next couple months. And she said that she was probably going to hit me up with a cookie order. So
oh, that's cool.
I'm getting lots of people hitting me up for those. So I'm just going to keep creating and putting stuff out there and attracting the cookie orders.
I know. I got to find a skill that brings me joy and money at the same time. I love making music and I love editing the podcast, but I don't really have a lot of orders for those right now.
Right. I hear ya.
And I love painting. Like, oh my God. But like actually today I'm like really proud of myself because I had a really fruitful chat with GPT today. Like, because I had really fruitful card pulls too. And I decided just to completely follow my North Node today. And so I straightened up my space, and vacuumed. Because fucking Squish, God damn it, I gave her some fucking crackers last night and she just decides to grind them up all over my carpet. I was like, oh my God, what are you doing? And I'm like, now I have to vacuum. today I did that, and then I did some self-care. Like I did a mask and then did my gua sha, and then I was gonna take a bath, but I was like, I don't want to fuss with that. And so I
What
brought
is
my
gua sha?
Oh, that's where you have that stone, that the flat stone, and you rub it on your face to like do lymphatic drainage, and it helps with like fine lines and wrinkles, and like you know, makes it so you don't need fillers or Botox.
Huh.
Fucking love it. It's
What kind
awesome.
of stone is it?
The one I have is jade, but you can order any kind you want. But I ordered a jade one. And so, yeah, but anyway, I did that, and then I brought my easel in my room and I just painted all afternoon. Like, and I made like this really yummy lunch from scratch that made me really happy. And I ate and jammed out to music and painted, it was really nice. It was like
Jam.
what? Because my fucking vibe has just been so funky since I've been sick, and
Yeah.
it was nice to kind of lift. That's why I wanted to take a bath. I wanted to take a salt bath to like, bring my vibe up, but I was just not.
Yeah, that's been a big thing for me too. That's been a huge improvement. I've been doing a lot of purging and reordering my personal space that's long overdue, and that's, I think, made it really. I feel so much lighter. Like, I spent a lot of December and January doing that, and our house like looks pretty good. It's pretty cute. Travis did some rearranging of our furniture, and I'm really digging how everything looks, and how spending time organizing your space and cleaning it up and stuff really makes a big difference.
It does. Like when I get out of sorts, I start cleaning, because a part of me, I broke that down. I think it's because it's the one thing I can control, and
oh yeah, that makes sense though.
Well, and if I'm in a chaotic situation, I need order, and I need to establish order. And so I'll clean. And you know what else is weird is if I'm feeling funky, I find myself like picking shit up off the floor, like crumbs and like pieces of food. And I'm like, I have a vacuum, but I don't know. It's like literally the tactile. And I was going to ask like the symbolism, but I think the symbolism of that is if I'm feeling ungrounded, I need to clear my floor space, and like, so I could, feel grounded.
Well, also focus on the little things. Focus on the really small,
when you're too,
then when you focus on something small like that, then you can like tune other things out.
Exactly. And that's another thing is, ever since, I want to say, because like my awakening kind of started, it was like happening a little bit towards the end of my marriage. And when I finally ended my marriage, it really kicked into high gear. And this was like December of 23 when or November of 23 when like I was, done and on my own. And by January, I was like, I don't know, like my whole space changed, and like I was completely, I kept up on my chores and like this and that, and like now my room is always clean, and my bathroom is always clean, and my shower is always clean, and like
Oh, I don't know about all that. Not when I was. No, I'm just kidding.
Shut the fuck up. And like,
I just playing.
I prefer to spend time in my room, because the girls destroy the living room and I can't be in there. It's too messy. And like, I mean, I'll clean obviously and like straighten up and whatever, but it's like chaotic all the time, because they just come right behind me and just blah, 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 throw this, throw that, grind this in here. They don't do that. It's just like, fuck.
I thought girls weren't supposed to do that.
I know, me too. I finally have furniture that matches, and like it's all in the same color, like a color scheme, and like I have an adult house now, and it's so messy. It's like they're so messy. And so I prefer to hang out in my room, but they just come in my room and mess that up, But like I find it's easier to keep up on that.
We also wanted to let you guys know that if you have any questions about what we talk about, if there's anything that you want to know about the universe, email us at thedeependpodcast2024@gmail.com.
Yeah, totally. We'll do our best to answer your questions, and it'll be fun. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for tuning in, listening to our podcast, and following us into the depths of the subconscious and the unknown.
Into the depths of your soul.
Come find me and book a reading on www.mutablemystic.com. Find me on Facebook at Mutable Mystic. You can find me on Instagram at mutable_mystic. Also, if you'd like to check out any of my music, you can find me on SoundCloud /stay, STE_music.
And you can find me on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook under Quantum Healing with Steph Green, and book your own past life regression session, or you can send me a message on Facebook and we could talk about what you have in mind. And don't forget to like, follow, and share the Deep End podcast on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. Thanks for tuning in today.
Hell, we can bend your mind next time. Always remember to ground your feet in the dirt and enjoy life with those gratitude glasses on. Catch us on
The Deep End.
The deep end.
Welcome to the Deep End.
The Deep End.
The deep end, bro.
Yeah, brah, deep end.
Deep, man.
Deep end. The deep end.